Who are the coolest dudes on the planet?
United States veterans.
What's the coolest sport on the planet?
Pro wrestling.
And what would be the coolest podcast on the planet? That would be this one.
U.S. military vets talking pro wrestling.
This is the No Shave Man Cave.
You're muted.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
I'm Jay Tilly.
And bro,
That was
the show last night was much better than my intro.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The start of Dynamite definitely beat our intro there. Hey, we're trying something new. For those of us that, well, I mean, we have zero people watching it right this minute, so nobody saw it live. But
Woo!
yeah, we'll get there. We'll
go.
get there. I've been looking at how to do some videos and stuff, so we won't just be us sitting here staring at it while it's doing its thing. But I like using the thing we paid, had that dude make for us as our intro. So I'll maybe cut together a video with it and maybe add some of our own spices into it. But I dig what he did there. So that's pretty cool stuff. Oh, somebody's trying to enter something. Whoa! Don't make it weird. So all right, cool.
Beep, beep, beep.
So yeah, Dynamite. Sorry. We got a little distracted with the mess up at the beginning. My phone's going off. Are you signing into something?
Yeah, I was trying to hop on, but I'll use a different browser.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Yep.
Yes, it was me. Hey, thanks for joining us live. We're all over the place right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I tell you, I was right when the show started, just how I do. I'm checking the crowd out. I'm seeing what's what. Just like the crowd was on 10, and
gosh.
I like, and the reference of San Juan that whole weekend was awesome. Jacksonville was good for like the first, 45 minutes of that 3 hours. And I don't know if they had some dark matches before or, if they gave melatonin and it kicked in after 45 minutes or something. But this crowd for AEW was feeling it. And I couldn't be, if I was one of the boys and girls in the locker room, I would have been so proud to be part of that show and part of AEW last night because, dude, that was on 10. It was awesome.
Yeah, that crowd, and you've got me paying more attention to it, but yeah, that crowd was rocking. I mean, I would almost put it up there with San Juan. Like, they seemed as loud, they seemed as into it. I was blown away at how, and it's not like Detroit is a town they don't go to often. I mean, it's a wrestling town, so it's not like they're starved for wrestling like Manitoba. So I was surprised at how loud they were, for sure. I thought it was fantastic. And then you open with the kind of match they opened with. Holy shit, man. Like, how are you not pumped up? That Phoenix, Ray Phoenix and Claudio match was, I said this today earlier at work to you. Like, I literally watched Dynamite till about the Christian Cage promo, and I'm like, man, hold on. And I stopped it, started it over, and watched it again because I was that into it. Like, I literally watched it 2 times last night.
Yeah.
And loved it both times. Like, it was such a good match that Claudio and matter of fact, I'm probably gonna watch it again. Like, that's one that's gonna stay in my DVR for a while because that whole program, and we'll go through it. Like I said, we don't usually like to run down the cards, but this one I almost feel like we have to.
I think it's worth it. And like when you talk about, I'm a fan in a stadium, and we're not in the Pontiac Superdome. We're not, it's one of the off the beaten path, probably seats 15K or whatever.
Yeah, one of the basketball stadiums.
think once they get past Wembley, they are going to have to upgrade their booking where they're going to. They're filling the United Center. They're going to fill freaking Wembley, and they are on the map.
Yeah.
And I don't like, not that I don't care, but I don't care. I don't want to hear it anymore. That, oh, we're only 4 years old. We're only whatever. You are a pro wrestling company that has got it figured out.
Yeah. And Wembley shows that, man. I mean, 70,000 tickets already, and they don't even have a match scheduled yet. Like, that's impressive. The minute they announce whoever it's going to be, whether it's going to be, Pac and Omega or CM Punk and Will Ospreay or whatever, your dream matches, because he's going to put some dream matches on.
Yes.
Whatever those dream matches are going to be. And
man.
The interesting thing, though, is this isn't a forbidden door, so it's probably going to be mostly AEW skewed. The only reason I say Will Ospreay is because he's over there. I did like his comment about the fact that, I understand if I'm not on the card because I'm not AEW, and they've got Pac and Jamie Hayter and all that. He goes, but I'd like to be there. So
yeah, no, I was gonna say, hey, breaking news. Allegedly, as of yesterday, he is unofficially booked for the show in Wembley. And again, like you said, they haven't even announced one single match, you know, and it's kudos to them. And I know the name WrestleMania sort of sells itself like the Super Bowl, but this is the first major international this is the first major stadium show that they have done, and they are killing it. And this could be
this is history,
the model of what they're gonna do in the future. And I mean, they're gonna pull in, what was it, 16.7 million just at the gate. That's before you buy one single, whatever, crumpet and ale. And dude, oh man, really, yeah, a little fish and chips.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to hear your rundown of the card and what you thought, because when they first locked up, I was like, okay, cool. And then as the match started to roll on, I was like, oh, I know, I'm betting that he's standing up right now, talking about you, and moving around and just squirreling around in your seat, pausing, going, grabbing your Twitter machine, going, holy shit. And super exciting to see the progression, especially because Julia Hart, you normally see her ringside, and it was really good to see Anna Jay in the ring, and she was killing it. And
hey man, she's got a bad attitude and a fat ass. Her words, words, not mine.
Hey, so I've heard.
I'm just quoting. I'll neither confirm nor deny. That's what I've heard. But and speaking of the Wembley show, and then maybe this is just me because I'm an AEW fan, but I almost put this on par with WrestleMania 1 as far as a history making event, because I mean, think about it, no other company other than WWE has sold more than I think the record outside of WWE was 47,000 people. And that's WCW with the NWO at its prime, and that's ECW when ECW is at its prime. No other outside of WWE has sold that many tickets. So this is a huge thing.
So
I know there's some. Go ahead.
No, yeah. So you have the record-breaking, historic, monumental WrestleMania 1, but then you have, and we talked about this the other day about WrestleMania 3 and how it changed with closed circuit TV and all this other stuff. But equally important, but man, putting this show up against WrestleMania 1 or WrestleMania 3 is extremely significant, especially in this day and age. Wrestling is 100-something years old. WWE almost had the market cornered outside of a couple of little independents and the Ring of Honors and the Wrestling from Hollywood. And now here we are filling Wembley. I'm if Tony Khan isn't putting a couple of feathers in his cap, TK, hey, cap it. Congratulations. You should be extremely proud of the efforts you've done. And like you were saying, you were there at the
Presser.
news conference.
Yep.
Or the press conference. And when I saw Jericho, and me thinking back, I had read a story not that long ago where Jericho told McMahon to his face, I will not wrestle in North America for any other company, because he was doing the New Japan thing as the, not Painmaker, but
Painmaker.
Painmaker.
Yeah.
And now here he is, the face and the first champion of AEW, and now he's the flag bearer and plank owner at AEW and just doing great stuff. And yeah, dude, I'm excited. This show was awesome, but I can only imagine the energy and what the Wembley show is going to register on the Richter scale.
Oh man, yeah. I'd be curious, like sound decibels, how loud it's going to get in there. Like when Judas plays, or CM Punk music hits, or Kenny Omega comes out with the Young Bucks, like whatever they've got planned up their sleeves. I mean, he's mentioned that he's got some surprises he's going to try to pull out. Like, who knows what they're going to do? It's going to be huge. Man. Like, I wish I could get my passport in time, because I absolutely would love to go over there for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you talk about when Judas hits, and when, like every entrance, they are just going to get louder and louder. And so, like, just imagine fantasy booking the first match and the main event. What match do you tell the world that AEW is here and we're not going anywhere? Because, like, I mean, they are going to be fighting to be that first match, to be the, do you put, if it were me, whatever program you have Jericho in, I have Jericho as my first match.
Yeah.
And
rumor is it's going to be Jericho and CM Punk. So you could have that as, I could see that as your opening match, because that's two perfect pow in your face.
Yeah.
Holy crap, like we're going to be excited for this. And then I think your main event's going to be I would do like Omega and Will Ospreay 3 maybe, if Omega loses at Forbidden Door and loses the title to him. Then he's going for a rematch or whatever. I mean, there's so many things they're going to do. And if you don't want Will Ospreay, like, do, Omega and Bryan Danielson, in an Iron Man match or something like that. Who knows?
Ooh, yeah.
MJF, I think, would be a perfect person. Like, maybe Omega and MJF. Like, who knows? I think, you put Orange Cassidy maybe and MJF somewhere on that card.
My God. Orange Cassidy's music hits. Dude, I would I scoot up in my seat whenever I hear Freshly Squeezed music and MJF. Those two.
Yeah.
And I don't, man. That's gonna be one I'm gonna grind on a little bit, because you're gonna have AEW, you're gonna have Ring of Honor. I'm pushing the I Believe button. You're probably gonna have some New Japan.
Yeah.
Bubba's. Maybe you have the Takada.
Tenoche. Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah.
Okada, you mean?
Oh, man. Okada, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You have, maybe he's settled and now he's going to be all elite. Man, I just.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got, and like you said, Ring of Honor, you've got Shibata sitting in Ring of Honor now as the pure champion, so you could do a Shibata match in there. To be honest with you, I think I would open with Jamie Hayter. Like, hometown.
Oh, my God, yes.
Well, home country, I guess. Home country.
Right. Yeah.
Champion. Like, I would open, like, her and Monet. I mean,
or her and Saraya.
Yeah. I just.
That would be
perfect.
Yep.
That would be perfect. I almost would want to give them separate matches, though, just so they both have their hometown win.
That's true.
So maybe, you have Jamie Hayter and I want to say Monet, because I think bringing in Sasha Banks or Mercedes Monet would be awesome. And I think they could draw her in for that. And I think that would sell even more tickets. So I'd like to see that. And then Saraya, maybe Saraya and Shida would be a good one, or
Britt maybe.
Britt. Yeah, Saraya and Britt too wouldn't be too bad. Who knows what Thunder Rosa's doing? We saw her show up last night.
She went into the boss's locker room, so that she's like, hey, put me on the card.
Or
I don't just want the payday.
Are you setting up Thunder Britt Baker too at All In? You know, I mean,
yeah, it was.
But speaking of the card last night, we should probably talk about that.
Yeah,
we spent 15 minutes.
We're 15 minutes in still.
We spent 15 minutes talking about what we wanted to talk about next podcast, not this one. So that's all right. But yeah, we already kind of talked about Claudio and Phoenix. Dude, that match for two guys that have never worked together, there were a couple points where I felt that, but overall, man, it was fantastic. It was paced very well. It was one of those matches that you don't want to look too closely because you can see how the sausages is being made.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple, like, specifically when he's doing the dives outside and he catches him the one, you can kind of see him get ready to catch him and he slowed down right before.
Yeah.
But, like, that kind of stuff I forgive because, you know, if I'm there live watching it, you don't notice that stuff. And
right.
The only reason I notice is because I probably watched it 2 times already and probably going to be a third now. So, but, you know, that's any match you see that, so that's fine. But just amazing match. Claudio comes out on top, so now we're going to get another pairing of those two. Lucha Brothers versus Claudio and whoever his partner is going to be for the Ring of Honor Tag Champions, which is interesting because if you think about it, that match, no matter what, was going to be a 1 and 2 at least. So that match is the opening match to whatever they're going to do a rematch to. So if they had gone out there and bombed, that's not a good thing. So the fact that they went out there and just absolutely destroyed and did such a phenomenal job.
Wow.
In the first time working in the ring together makes me go, hoo, 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 what are they going to do next? Because I'm excited about that. I thought, just that action. What an amazing way to begin a show, for sure. And then you were right from that into Renee Paquette, who had an awesome night too, in my opinion. But Renee's standing in the back and they're panning up from somebody's feet. And, oh, my God, Miro's back. Yes, please. Like, I've missed Miro on my TV, so all down for that. Fantastic. Then we had the MJF promo thing, which I thought was really good, too. And his was the first of 4 of them throughout the night. And I thought they were all done very well.
Yeah,
even Jungle Boys with Christian Cage, who's his nemesis now, even talking shit about him. Yeah, you know, if he can pull his head out of his ass, he'll be this, this, and this. Like, I thought all 4 of those vignettes was perfect for where this feud's at right now.
Yeah, I was really surprised that the trying to think of the right wording, but like just the way Christian was so complimentary of him, and I aligned myself with Jungle Boy because I thought he was the most talented out of all of them. I was like, oh wow, was that something nice, nicely said out of Christian's mouth? And each vignette was done so well that after each one, I was like, "Oh yeah, he's definitely winning." Oh wait,
yep.
Oh yeah, he's definitely. Oh wait, and it. I think MJF is going to come out the victor, but I think everybody's going to get made.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's going to be. It's going to be a 5-star match. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I don't see anybody but MJF winning it. However, I think it's going to be enough to make us go, oh, okay, cool. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So, and I think I loved MJF's vignette where he goes, you know, I just did the best dog collar match. I did the best Iron Man match. I did the best this. Now I'm going to do the best 4-way match. I'm like, those are big words. Because there's been some pretty good 4-way matches.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, great vignette. And then, like I said, all 4 of them I liked. I like Darby Allin's. You know, why I do stupid things is because I want to prove to people I can do them.
Yeah.
And Sting talking about them. And then Sammy's kind of came off very babyface-ish, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting where he was like, well, I'm not supposed to be here, and I'm not supposed to be this, and I was supposed to be, like, man, what's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm... Woo! It's gonna be something that So whenever you just kind of like when it was Charlotte, Ronda, and Becky, and you needed Charlotte in the ring to be the ring general for that match, do you think one of those guys needs to be the ring general, or do you think that they're all equal in that they'll be able to carry their own, they'll all be able to get their stuff in, and everybody's going to go home, win, lose, or draw, everybody's going to go home a winner?
Yeah, I think in ring wise, they're probably all. It's interesting because they all have such different styles. But I think in ring they're all
Damn, that's
very
a good point too. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
a
like
really good point.
they're all kind of completely, and they all can do each other's styles, but they all wrestle it a little differently. Because, Darby Allin can do the flying off the top rope, and he does, but his looks a lot more like I'm throwing my body into it.
Yeah.
Uh, MJF could do dives off the rope, but he doesn't because he doesn't believe in it. And Sammy Guevara does that amazing Spanish fly, which Jungle Boy can do, but he doesn't. He does a different version. So they all kind of have their own different styles of doing stuff. If I were to say who I think would call the match and probably plot it out and like maybe call some of the stuff on the fly, I would probably think MJF. I think he's got. I don't know why. And I don't know this for a fact, but he seems to have a better knowledge of it. I think he's worked with Punk. He's worked with Danielson. Now, I mean, Guevara worked with Danielson in a 2 out of 3 falls match, so
Yeah, that's true.
he's had that Danielson experience too. But he never worked Punk. I just think there's a reason MJF is as good as he is, and I think he is one of those. He's definitely a student of the game, so I think kind of putting him in there, he could probably be that general if he needs to be. But I think they all could be in there holding their own. I think it's going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah, I think that whole entire card and we can, cut another episode on that card. But last night, man, it just kept getting better and better. And I was like, oh yeah, you're going to have a couple of stinkers. It'll still be a good show. Hold my beer. Because it was like it was like when the last show of WCW, they kept outdoing each other. And it was like one of the greatest shows. And now here we are in Detroit. And they're just, man, they just brought it. I don't know what was in the cooler in the back, but kudos to whoever gave the rah-rah speech before the cameras went live. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, and part of it probably has to do with everybody kind of before the main event knew that everybody was talking about the main event. So I'm like, all right, well, I want to go out there and outdo it. And I mean, there's been things where Kenny Omega, I think, was it All Out? May have been All Out. It was I don't remember what pay-per-view it was, but they opened the match. It was the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega opened the match. And as he's walking back, he looks at the camera and goes, "Y'all beat that, beat that shit," or something like that. Like basically challenging the rest of the locker room. I have a feeling they do a lot of that. Like, all right, well, I got to be the best in the show. And I think that's one of the things that drives AEW, in my opinion. Not that I'm saying WWE doesn't do it, but I don't feel that in WWE. I don't feel them going, I'm going to have a better match than you. I'm going to prove it. Yeah. And I feel that
because it's so produced.
Yeah.
And it's so almost like, I don't want to say cinematic because that's, I don't think that's the right term, but it's just shy of cinematic where they practice and the producers do this and they do the run through. And, every show is done with, I think, 18 cameras in a production van outside. And, AEW is doing the same thing. And it's not quite, here we go. I get the Lucha Underground in. It's not quite that grainy Lucha Underground production, but it's not that polished, everybody sit on their hands, WWE. And I think the city of Detroit, they played into the, they didn't do it for just the house show.
Right.
They brought it, and it was, I didn't see the figures for the attendance and the watches last night, but like what we were talking about, I don't think the watch and the the demo and stuff is as Not that it's not relevant, but I don't think it's as relevant.
Yeah.
And this show, like, to everybody who watches wrestling and enjoys sports entertainment, go on your demand, look up the 10th of May AEW, and just sit back and relax and enjoy, because it
Try
was
to relax.
awesome. Yeah, enjoy from start to finish. There wasn't one bad match.
No, and I'll speed through some of this, and any of it you want to talk about, we can. But you had the Mark Briscoe thing, where obviously he's going to be the guest referee.
That was fun.
The only thing I say about that is when I saw that pile driver, I got a little scared because his head looked a little low. But apparently he's okay. I haven't heard anything about an injury, because I got a little worried, and he sold it real well. So
Yeah.
kudos to him. But I thought the way they pulled it off was pretty good. I mean, yeah, I thought, good spot. And we had the Jericho in the back talking about, I've got Adam Cole banned. Roderick Strong comes over. Okay, cool. I want a bare knuckle fight. We're going to fight all over the arena. Sorry, shout out to the What Culture guys, because that's what they say now, and I get stuck in my head. But, we're going to have a Falls Count Anywhere match. Well, I got the JAS. Oh, no. I went to legal counsel, too, and they're barred from the arena. So that ought to be really good next week. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Then we had Tony Khan, big announcement. We're going to talk about something big next week, which I think we all know it's going to be Collision. Yep. The only thing I did find interesting is it said Wednesday on TNT. And I thought, oh, he flubbed that. Well, somebody posted on Twitter, Tony said TNT instead of TBS. And he responded with, no, I meant TNT. So I'm curious what that's going to be. Like, I wonder if maybe they're going to have an announcement as to what maybe the first commercial for Collision is going to air on TNT, and that'll be the lead into the announcement. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a weird, I don't know, just something weird.
I'm wondering if that has to do with the NBA playoffs, so they're going to be on a different channel that night.
But they didn't say anything about it all night long. So I thought the same thing. I'm like, well, maybe TNT, maybe Dynamite will be on TNT next week. So I kind of kept waiting to hear, like, hey, special note, we won't be on TBS, we'll be on TNT. Special note. They didn't do that all night. So, and it could have just been he did flub it, and he just didn't want to say he flubbed it. So he made that comment. But I thought it was...
Kept it going.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that he responded to the guy on Twitter and said, no, I did that on purpose. I'm like, okay. So who knows? Like I said, maybe it'll be a Collision commercial on TNT at 8 o'clock tomorrow, or, next Wednesday or whatever the case is. So then we had the second match of the night, which was the damn Orange Cassidy and Daniel Garcia match.
Man. That had me at the edge of my seat.
So
and
good.
Orange Cassidy, his entrance music is my new favorite. And I was on the edge of my seat from the time his music hit till the time they announced, till the announcers said, and still international champion. Because, dude, they had me. They freaking had me. I'm like, they're going to put, and, me, I'm from Buffalo. Here's Garcia from Buffalo. I'm like, soft spot in my heart. And, man, it was, it was, woo.
Such a good match. Like, I love the mat work to begin with. Like, Orange Cassidy showing Garcia, I can mat work with you. I love the submission stuff they did. And then stomping on his hand while he's got him in the submission.
Oh.
I'm just like, there are two stories they're telling here that are fantastic. You've got Orange Cassidy, the fighting champion. I think they said this is his 21st or 22nd defense.
Yeah.
Something like that.
22nd.
And each one, he's got more and more injuries. He's more and more hurt. So you're on the edge. You're like, all right, is this the one? This is the one he's going to lose it. This is the one he's going to lose it. Okay, this is the one he's going to lose it. And he's not. He's doing that awesome pulling through. Like, he is, I would almost say he's probably one of the best champions out there right now. Just the work rate. I don't know that I can name all 22 of his matches, but I could probably at least name 5 or 10 of them that were amazing matches, that were just like blow away, like, holy cow, somebody had mentioned to me once about him and Vikingo. I'm like, yes, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Orange Cassidy and Vikingo.
Yeah.
Yep. Please sign me up for that.
Yeah.
And he has quickly become one of my favorites. And I think I talked about it in a couple podcasts ago about how I think he's one of the underrated pillars, because he's been there since day one. He's beaten Chris Jericho. He's been in matches with Moxley. He was in there with Omega and Pac. Like, to the point where we all thought he was going to win the championship at that one. What was it, Double or Nothing? We went to it in the Daly's place. We all thought, oh, he's going to win this championship, and he didn't. But Jesus, it was great.
It was very convincing. It was and Orange Cassidy didn't start at AEW, but he's definitely like cut his teeth, and the he had some really great gimmick matches with Jericho, the sunset or the sunrise
Orange
match,
punch match or whatever. Yeah.
Just like you said, I think he's very underestimated, but he's got a title, and sometimes titles make people, and sometimes people make titles, and this I think is a case where it's 50-50, and anybody who's going to come get that AEW International title, they better pack a lunch, because Orange Cassidy's putting in work. So, kudos to him, and it was awesome.
Absolutely. And then the other part of the story is Garcia, where he, and this has been a very slow burn one, but he's a professional wrestler. Oh no, I'm a sports entertainer. And like some of the facials and stuff he did at the end of that match were like he lost because he was doing the stupid goofy stuff. Like you can kind of see it dawning on him, like
the air humping.
Maybe I should not be doing the dance and all that other crazy stuff he does.
Yeah.
And like I think that's a slow story that's unfolding.
Yeah.
I can't even do it, but
I
don't have the rhythm he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fantastic.
It's planting those seeds where it's going to cause the implosion of the JAS, and I love that. I love that. Yeah, I didn't dislike one single piece of this show at all.
Yep. Then we had Christian Cage come out and cut. Ooh, man, talk about some heat. Like we talk about Dominic Mysterio and booze, and you can't hear him talking, and may or may not be piped in. Don't know. Yeah. That was definitely not piped in last night.
No.
And you could barely hear Christian Cage over just even the point at the end of the promo was just kiss my ass, and he throws the mic down. Like he was almost to the point of that. But it was kind of a rough promo he got too about dead dads and dead sons, and Arn Anderson lost his son. And then he quickly said Brock Anderson. I'm like, okay. But there was still that little, and I was like, whew. He is
close to home.
Lee, man, he is such a nasty heel. So I'm looking forward to that match too. So that was a quick one. And then we roll into another match that surprised me. I wouldn't say match of the night. I wouldn't say best match I've seen, but very good, which is the Julia Hart, Anna Jay match.
Oh, man.
Those women went out there and beat the shit out of each other.
I honestly think, because I was so blown away based on what I was expecting, and I thought they would have a good match. I thought they'd, it wasn't going to be a Divas match. I thought they'd get some moves in. I didn't expect that chair pancake move.
Whew.
And I legit was looking up doctors and medical facilities in the Detroit area that do at-home care, because I thought she was legit hurt.
Yeah,
and
she sold that really well.
I think that may have been my favorite match of the night.
Really?
Because I was so blown away, and just to see the growth in Anna Jay, and man, I was blown away.
The growth in Anna Jay, huh? Gotcha. Don't make it weird.
Yowza.
Yeah, she
had some nice gear.
I mean, every time I see her, it blows my mind that she is, I think, just over 100 matches now. Like, she is really green in the business, but you can tell she's someone that sits in the back, watches tape, talks to probably Bryan Danielson, talks to Jericho, talk to CM Punk about what could I do better, because she is improving every match I see her, and she's better. Same with Julia Hart. I remember Julia Hart as the goofy little cheerleader that came out. Now, like, she's in this match, and I'm like, damn, she's gotten really good.
Yeah.
Like, I just,
and
wow.
Kudos to, like, Malachi Black. I'm sure Mark Henry is back there putting in the work. Kenny
Big
Omega is and Big Show or Paul White.
Oh, yeah.
The the work that Kenny Omega is putting in with the women's division. I'm sure the Bucks are back there helping out, and it's showing in the. We're talking about like Elevation and Dark Elevation being the developmental to get on Rampage. Well, they pull the Elevation and Dark Elevation, and that's going to have something to do with the Paramount deal now.
Yeah.
They're going to do something like the Elevation, Dark Elevation. So with Collision, assuming it's 2 hours, you'll have the Dark Elevation, Ring of Honor tapings, and Dynamite.
And Rampage. You said
And Rampage, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. So you'll have, 8 hours, 7 hours of wrestling, 7 hours of TV time, and all the recording that they're going to do. This library is going to be explosive, and when it becomes available, what would be really cool if they could do some of the training sessions without it being like all access where you feel like almost dirty watching it. I'd really like to see from the first bump to today the growth of Anna Jay, the growth of Julia, Sammy Guevara. He's been wrestling for 8 years. He's like damn 25 years old.
Yeah.
And he's so
Riho.
smooth in the ring. And who?
You got people like Riho too. Who's been, you look at her
So
and she's been
crazy.
wrestling for like 20 years and she's like 24 or something. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, she came out of the womb kicking,
Yeah, I think I heard something on her last match. She started wrestling at the age of 6. Wow. I'm like, what?
Jeez.
Anyway, she wasn't on the show, so we'll keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought maybe there was a little hiccup at the end of this match because I think the superplex was supposed to be into the chairs and they missed them. But I don't care. That damn match was fantastic. Loved it.
I caught that too. I was like, well, she couldn't push off because she was selling the hip. And I was like, all right, let's keep it moving. She gets the win. And we'll see how this pushes the story along because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then we roll right into the House of Black versus the Bandito.
Oh, my God.
And Bandito and the Best Friends.
The Best Amigos. Dude.
Yeah, the Best Amigos.
First off, me being a title nerd, when I saw they changed the titles into, it looked like silver, black.
Yeah.
Looking, I was like, those look freaking awesome. The entrance, I would have went and found the referee. I'd like to submit if I could. Can I tap now? Is it too early? The entrance was phenomenal. The pacing of the match and the finish. Brody Lee hitting his man.
Yeah, and
God.
I really, really loved the way they set the ring up.
Yeah.
Black out everything and just the spotlight on the ring.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought at first I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then as the match went on, I'm like, this is really cool. Like,
yeah.
I really like this whole House of Black rules.
Yeah.
And now I want them to keep the titles forever, and I want to see them going against all kinds of people. Yeah, I thought.
So what do you think the producers for WWE were watching this match going, I think I know how to use Bray Wyatt now?
Maybe.
Like, I think we can produce a match similar to this. It doesn't have to be the fun house. It doesn't have to be a toolbox in a cage. It can be a no kidding. He can show his creativity in the ring as well as character development. And I felt bad when I was watching this match because I was really into it. And as soon as the match ended, I was like, click. This is how we could bring and rejuvenate Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have to be so fiendy, if that's a real word. And he can come back and be a little bit of himself.
Yeah, a little spooky, but not really.
Yeah.
And then I dig the house rules thing too. So just for anybody that didn't know, so any of the triple threat matches with the House of Black now are 20-second countouts, so you can't run. no rope break, which I think is pretty cool.
I didn't
And
know
then-
that. I was like,
yeah.
oh,
No rope break, which is cool. And then the third one is the challengers can decide the stipulation whether it's no DQ or DQ. Which I'm like, who the hell's ever gonna go to the House of Black and go, yeah, no DQ, that's fine.
yeah.
And then I did appreciate the best friends going, well, I don't like that Julie Hart, she's spooky, so no spooky witches. That's the stipulation we want. No spooky witches at winning.
I was
side,
like,
so.
that is so character perfect.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
What we have to disguise like right now.
Yeah. Oh, what? I didn't know about that. Yeah. They're so good.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Quick thing backstage. Orange Cassidy's laid out by Kyle Fletcher, so I think we're getting that on Rampage. I think that match is going on.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Did you? What did you think of Renee Paquette talking with Orange Cassidy?
I'm just tired.
I'm just tired. And she pats him on the back. Me too, bud.
Me too.
And I was like, dude, you were killing it.
Well, yeah,
his in-ring work, his character work, Renee backstage, and then just their like chemistry.
Her with the Jericho too, like her with Jericho and him talking about that, and her rolling her eyes at him, and then when Roderick Strong comes out and she's smirking, and then he hands it, and she's just like flat out starts laughing, and she's like, "Nope, that looks legit. Good luck with that," and walks away. She's doing so good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they brought her on.
Yeah.
And they've given her this kind of role, not just a producer in the back. Like, I'm glad they've given her the mic, and you can definitely tell they've told her to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's the gist we want you to get to, and then be you. Because, WWE, I don't like comparing and contrasting, but their interviewers don't ever just, cut up and laugh or make jokes. It's just,
Yeah, it's
okay,
very,
cool,
you've got a producer in your ear, you've got 17 seconds, hit the wave tops, let them hit their, their motto, their gimmick, their punchline,
whatever their
and
punchlines
keep it
are.
moving. Yeah. That Miro piece, though, he said nothing.
Yes.
And just like he said so much without one single word.
Yep.
And
Oh yeah,
I
and
can't-
then
I
Thunder
can't
Rosa
stand
too. She came in and just said, "I hear it's the night to talk to Tony," and walks in.
Yeah.
So yeah, Thunder
What
Rosa.
did she
coming
call
back
him? Like
too.
Poppy Tony or
Poppy
something? And I
Tony
was
or-
like,
yeah.
woo!
Time to talk to Poppy Tony.
What could this mean? So yeah,
Maybe she's gonna be the WWE or AEW's mommy. Who'll be Poppy and no, just kidding. She's no Rhea Ripley. I'm sorry.
Yeah. With all due respect.
With all due respect.
Yeah.
I mean, she's no Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Nice, but no Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
No, and Thunder Rosa, if you're listening, I mean in the ring wise, like I mean,
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
I mean we'll see at RiverCon. WrestleCon.
Yeah.
She's there again this year too.
Yeah.
I almost want to take the picture of her signing the picture of her and Edie, like, so it's like this picture on picture on picture, because I took a picture of her signing. So Edie met her at one of the events, so she was signing that, and I took a picture of it. I want to take that picture now to her to sign this time, and take a picture of her signing the picture.
That's
I
awesome.
don't know. It was just something goofy I thought about.
Yeah.
And then it's time for the match that I guess some people were excited about.
I mean,
Kenny Omega and John Moxley in a steel cage. First time
Couple of
Kenny
guys
Omega's ever been in
together.
a steel cage. No big deal.
it's just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we can skip it and go right to end credit. No, man, like
Talk about the commercials.
Yeah.
Picture in picture. Which
my wife said,
bothered me none last night. They were perfectly timed, and the show was so fantastic. And the only time I thought about it was when Daniel Garcia was air humping during a commercial, and I was like, this would be so... And I was like, I wish we were in the ring right now, because I think it would be so much funnier, because I wanted to hear what Shivani was talking about.
Oh.
Or Taz saying, I guess he's really entertaining, or but then the
He's getting off on this match.
Oh yeah. yeah, this
there was
match,
another.
dude.
There was a picture-in-picture one that actually bothered me, and I think it was in the main event. And Moxley, we come back to Moxley doing something, and I was like, wait, I missed part of it, but I don't remember. Like, I'll watch it back again. But there was one that actually bothered me. But I laugh because Amy's like, "Hey, do me a favor." She's like, "Whenever he starts talking about commercials, just edit it out." Talking about how you love commercials.
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't care about commercials." I'm like, "Well, honey, you're not our only listener."
Come
I said,
on.
some
Come
people
on,
might
Amy.
like that he talks
Give
about
me
commercials.
something. Give me something.
But this match,
Let's-
dude, was.
Let's
just-
replace it with a positive thought.
I don't know if we got to censor that.
Woo. Beep, beep.
What did your
For
wife
those
say when
who
you got that?
She was like, "Really? You told the whole story?" So those who don't have the YouTube exclusive, not a real thing, I have a stress ball, which is actually in the shape of a breast,
Booby.
areola and nipple,
Nipple.
and the whole shebang. And I'm not big on negative thoughts. I replace positive thoughts. Most of them are wrestling and woodwork, not all. And
Not that kind
yeah,
of wood.
so so I've got my little squeaker squeaking is what I call it. So,
Yep. I told Amy that story, and she's like, "I'm gonna get him something," and I didn't really put it together. And then I was like, "All right, yeah, that was pretty good.
Man, I love this thing.
Yeah, it's fantastic." I need to fill the decanter up you got me. I think I washed it, so I just need to fill it up. And I think I'm gonna put it on. I don't know if I can though, because it's liquor, so I don't know what YouTube will say about me having an open bottle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I guess maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
They don't know what's in it as long as I'm not chugging it on the air, getting intoxicated.
There it is.
But back to the match. Yeah, it was pretty good, man. I don't even know where to go with it. Like,
Yeah.
just right off the beginning, with the Young Bucks fighting with the BCC coming out, you got Danielson on commentary, jumping off the stages. Like, it was just just violence to begin with. They get in the ring and finally close the cage.
The only thing, like, talking about them coming to the ring, the only thing that threw me off was it looked like security was trying to keep Mox out of the ring at one point, and I was like,
I saw that.
he's like, you know, he said something to the effect of, "Get the hell out of my, I'm supposed to be in there, get the hell out of my way," or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too.
Yeah. But man, once they got in the ring, dude, I loved how even the referee was selling when he went to do a 3 count and there was glass.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't switch hands, but he slid over. And then afterward he stood up and he was looking at his hand, and he didn't change his glove or anything, but like the fact that he registered, I was like, man, everybody's included in this. This is going to be awesome. And the finish was not what I expected at all.
Well, so there are a couple things in this match that made me go, ugh. The barbed wire chair to Moxley's back, and then he stands on it, and it slid. And I'm thinking, oh, it's not real barbed wire. And then he stands up, and you could see the slices in his back. Oh, man. I was like, okay, that sucked.
That's going to leave a mark, yeah.
And then same with Omega. His back's all scratched up because he's hitting him with it. So I was like, Jesus. The glass was, you see it sticking all into Mox's back when he rolls over after getting slammed into it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I just,
my eyes just kind of watered a minute. Yeah.
Oh man. The V trigger though, through the cage was amazing. Even though I think I don't want to say botched because he definitely hit the V trigger, but you could see kind of caught his back foot on the rope and got stuck where he got stuck. I think Sidgwick tweeted out, you know, Omega's so good he takes bumps on his balls, not his back, or something like that. 'Cause, good God, that had to hurt. I'm hoping he had a cup on, because And then I was kind of concerned about the way he wrenched his knee, because if you look back, like that knee got twisted in there really good. So I'm hoping he's okay. But
yeah, there were a couple of twists. I think there was a situation off of it might have been the middle rope, and when they landed, I was like, okay, everybody get up, please. Everybody registered, and then they got out. I was like, okay, everybody keep it moving, and
that's a testament to AEW though, because there's a lot of their matches where I go, oh God, is everybody get up okay? Oh, okay, they did. So they're just really good at selling.
Yeah.
Because I never know. Now there's some things like the the was it Dante Martin and his ankle? That wasn't
Oh,
selling. That was legit.
yeah.
That was
There's
right
no
up there with the
walking
Sid
that
Vicious
off.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was the worst.
The Sid Vicious. Oh yeah, where he lands and
Yes.
just bloop,
Oof.
snaps in two.
Flip. Never the
Oof.
same.
But
Yeah, so this match was awesome. The pacing was really good. There was a part when I think there was like a reverse chin lock or something. You could tell where they were like trying to figure out where they were in the match. They
yeah,
were trying to catch their breath, and it was Danielson on commentary was talking about their conditioning
yeah,
and like who they are as athletes, and they like the commentary really brought a lot to the match, like, and then the ending totally. I was not expecting it, and
really. So you didn't
it
think
was.
Don Callis was going to turn?
I didn't think it was going to happen here. I thought it was going to happen at in Vegas.
Okay.
But this could really like this is something that could go through the summer, get you to Wembley, and give you just one of the bangingest matches.
Yeah.
That's going to be on that card, and yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was good. I assumed the turn was coming. I didn't know if it was going to be Takeshita and Don Callis or just Don Callis, but I kind of saw it coming. But it's okay. It was still really good. I mean, the match was. I was speechless watching. I'm like, this is so good. To the fact that now that we've talked through the show, I think I'm going to go watch it again because I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it here in a little bit when we're done. It was. I don't know if they had a producer or if they just produced their own match. I'm super interested in later on when they finally open up and share what Don Callis said to Omega,
Right.
and kissed him on the forehead. I'm doing this for you, or this
Right.
had to be done, or I'm letting you go so you can fly, or something having to do with Kenny Omega's character.
Yep.
And when Don Callis was like, look at my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, frickin' Mox did that to you, or the
BCC.
cradle, over there. But yeah, the BCC did it. It had nothing to do with Omega. Well, Omega was supposed to protect me, or blah 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 blah. However they sell it, I'm buying it twice on Tuesday, and it's oh man,
yeah. This Dynamite reminded me of some of the old, like, it's funny how AEW can do this. They'll do a Dynamite like this where you're like, oh my god, it's great and then you'll go through a couple like, man, they're all right.
Yeah,
they're okay. But I think it's because they set these high bars like this one, where you go, Jesus, and I know what Tony Khan's doing, right? They just had Backlash in Puerto Rico. So everybody's talking Backlash. All right, I'll show you. I'm going to have a loud-ass crowd. I'm going to put on amazing matches. So now the conversation's gone from talking about Backlash to, oh, my God, did you see Kenny Omega, hit a V-trigger through oh, my gosh, the conditioning on Phoenix and Claudio, and they were exhausted. And, like, it's good stuff. And this is a rare 5-beer Dynamites for me. I had no faults with this show at all.
yeah.
Like, I even tried to, like, reanalyze it and go, okay, where can I take something off? I got nothing. Like, the backstage segments were good. There wasn't any over interruptions. The in-ring promo from Christian Cage was good. The vignettes for the pillars was amazing. The women's, I guess the only thing, if I wanted to take it down, is that there was only one women's. No, because they did a segment too with the out. So yeah, this was this was a perfect Dynamite for me. This is a 5-star or 5-beer Dynamite.
Yeah, I gave it 4.5. Not that it wasn't. And now, what would have given it 5 stars is if Orange Cassidy or the Trios Championships would have changed hands. That was the only thing. And, like to the point where the commercials didn't bother me. It's just 5 beards. Like, wow.
So
And
you think this was as good as Raw, or Raw was as good as this? Because you gave Raw 4.5 too,
yeah, I think
or is it a different curve?
no, I mean it's I think yeah, is it a WWE curve? Everything's compared to the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, but I mean this was on par with Backlash. This was absolutely on par with the Raw after Backlash. And yeah, the only thing that would have given it 5 stars or 5 beards would have been a title change. And I loved. This will probably be one of the ones that I'll look back and go, man, I should have given this sucker 5 beards.
4
and I don't know
3/4
why
at
I
least.
didn't.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, it was better than. Yeah, I mean it was better than Raw. So yeah, 4 3/4 would be the right way to go. But yeah, I super proud of AEW and where they are from the first show till now, and they're constantly trying to get better. Whereas sometimes WWE looks like they're just trying to get to the next show.
Yeah.
And Tony said, "Hey, super like I know everybody watched Backlash. I want to outdo the main event.
Right.
I want to outdo the Bad Bunny Damian Priest match. That's your bar tonight. Everybody's getting a $50,000 bonus or whatever he said to him.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Well, with that, it's that time of the show where I say thank you all for listening. We're going to start advertising going live. The big thing is we got to make sure we're on time. But we'll start doing more live on YouTube. I think we're going to start doing our review shows live on YouTube for everybody to come listen / watch us. As we're getting more comfortable doing this, I think it'd be a fun way to engage with the audience. So look for those advertisements to be coming out. If you're following us on Twitter, we appreciate it. If you know somebody who's not following us, smack them in the head and tell them to follow us at No Shave Man Cave, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and which one am I missing? Rumble and YouTube.
Rumble,
Hit us up, give us a follow if you want to get in touch with us and you don't have any of those social medias. NoShaveManCave@gmail.com. If this is your first time hearing us, welcome. We love that you stuck around to hear this. Hit a subscribe. It's free for you. It doesn't cost you anything. Helps us in the algorithm. Helps us get out to more people. And we are available anywhere you get a podcast from. We are literally anywhere you get a podcast from. So if you're listening to a podcast and your friend listens to a podcast and it's somewhere else, just tell them to look us up. We appreciate everybody. And it is time for that part of the night with the hot tag out to my buddy for the closer.
Bump and feed. Yes, sir. Hey, we're going to be live on the Fantasy Sports Corp on Saturday at 7 p.m. Every Saturday at 7 p.m. You can check us out. Just hop on the tube of YouTube, and we will be there ready and waiting, getting after it, talking about some wrestling, the week in wrestling, interacting with fans that are dialing in. And, can't say enough how humbling it is, and the follows and the likes and the feedback. So really, really appreciate it. To all our brothers and sisters in arms, thank you for your service. Some gave all, and all gave some. Until next time, my friends, stay safe. Look out for yourselves. Look out for each other. And I'll see you on the floor.